for the gospel.
Hey everyone, we are back here again for another session here with Gagelina
Emmanuel.
and we are the Thepnots. Here we're going to talk about, last time we spoke about us and how we grew up and so in different ways.
So many, yeah.
Right. So I didn't have a really great Christian background. I grew up Catholic, as I spoke about before, and I wasn't so into my faith. I didn't really know much about God. Nobody ever really spoke to me about God, right?
Yeah.
It was just for me to like fend with and try to figure out or not figure out, however it played out. I'd like to, because Emmanuel has a great foundation in Christianity, and I would just like to talk about what it looks like or what it looked like back in the day, growing up as a young person, trying to find Christianity, trying to find their faith, even just being walked through that journey. Just trying to find it, opposed to what children now have to deal with, all the distractions and the technology. And technology is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing. It all depends on how you use it, right? It could be a good thing. It can be a good distraction,
Definitely.
and it can be a good bad distraction. But I'd like to talk about your past. Like, how was it growing up for you as a Christian?
For me as a Christian, it's like I talked before my past. So when I left the church, when I coming back to the church, I was still young, you know.
Yeah.
And it was so good to find that church afar, par la fois, de ma 33. So when I got there, there are some young, folks in the church. So they're already knowing, and most of them growing up at the church. So there was like deacons, sons, deacons, daughters, stuff like that, or people who's like they was born in church.
Right.
So I ain't have that. So when I met with them, so I began to understand what it was and start learning.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to that church, even pray, I didn't know the right way to pray.
What young person does know how to pray at that age?
For me, it was like a fight every day because they know. It's like they know I ain't know how to pray, so they choose me every day at the youth.
Yeah.
So, but then you're gonna pray for us. So sometimes I was mad.
Right.
Just to know I cannot do it. But every day I learn, and I remember one of the sister, she was all she took me and she said, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to do stuff and even reading. So she gave me books and she said, go read that books and every Sunday you're gonna talk about it. That's why it's like
What kind of book? What book was that?
I don't remember books, but it was like more about like fifth.
Okay.
So I'm the name of the books, but she gave it to me, so I went home and read it. When I come back on Sunday, I read the books, and she called me in front of the youth, and for me to explain what I just read. So that's for me, it's like a scaring stuff like that. So that's
Right.
that's why she was helping me. So now, because every time she do that, so she helped me, and I get confident. So now when you call me to pray, and I don't scare no more. So I start to learn you have to pray by the name of God, the Spirit, and you finish by the name of the Son. So I ain't know the part. I just pray. Hey, God, sometimes you ain't hear me what I'm saying. Or somebody talking, but you don't know what
What you talking about?
you don't talk about. But I would just say stuff to say stuff.
Right.
So now I begin to hear like when people praying what they saying, and that's why I find out how to make it happen. But one of the thing we like I'm talking about like the resource we had when we was that growing up. It's like remember my first book I still have it. Somebody give it to me because I didn't have the money to buy a book.
Right.
Yeah, so we just went to the church. I remember I had a Jehovah Witness books because Jehovah Witness they give you free books
Yeah.
when you go there, so they give you free books. So my church then there wasn't like to my Jehovah Witness, but I always, everywhere I go. Because I thought that was a book. So when people, I knew nothing about like, because we was limited.
Right.
As a young, you have like the money to buy a book. They got certain stuff you ain't know, but you just have to learn day by day with your friends, So, and the Bible studies, you went to seminars, stuff like that. So that's why I become to learn exactly more about God and more about myself.
Right. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I wouldn't say that the children now don't have that, right? But at the same time, I remember, because even though I didn't grow up in the church, like the way that people try to say, like, you got to be there Tuesday and Friday and Saturday night. Like, I didn't grow that. I have that now, like, the past 10 years, 15 years, ago, like I started to build that. But at the same time, we didn't have the distractions that the kids have now, where you're sitting in the church and instead of going, or even like the video games, we did have like Mario Brothers and stuff like that, but still, the phones while you're in church. You're sitting in church and the child is bored. Like for us, our children don't speak Creole. So if they're sitting in the sanctuary, they just don't understand what's going on. So they're like, give me a phone, right? So they're completely distracted over everything. No chance to learn or anything like that. You guys didn't have that growing up.
No,
Can you imagine what it would have been though? Do you think that you would be where you are now if you were distracted with all that technology?
I think as a kids, like I said, I wasn't like really kids when I was there, but I think we learn because it's a language, so you speak Creole and French because that's the two language they speak at the church is French and Creole. So you have to learn, wait for him to come at the church because he's gonna talk about family. That was what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Family. Sometimes I remember one time he take it's like I was mad and sad at the same time because my mom wasn't in the church. My mom already he come to America, so we was at the church. So he said, "Today we're gonna do it's like, we're gonna make all the family, which we got take your father, sit with you, and we'll have a conversation as we at the church." So I was by myself and my brother, and I ain't nowhere to know who to talk to. So it was me. I think there are 2 or 3 other kids. We have the parents. So we sit together and have fun because we have it. It was sad at the same time, but it was good because it make us know we are. So we don't have the fans, but we have to challenge ourselves to be better, to get better. At that time too, when I was young, you have to learn how to play, a keyboard, guitar. It's like that challenge you. It's like you don't worry about the phone, about nothing like that. It just challenge you to learn about the Bible. It's like, I remember a youth, we used to have Bible contest, competition, songs, competitions. Who can make people laugh more? That was what we have. So you have to challenge yourself. When you got home, you got homework to do because when you come back on Sunday, you're gonna.
They're waiting for you. Yes, waiting for you. They're waiting for you.
But today, like you said, today is like the kids. I don't say they don't have it. They got more wishes than us. Than what
resources,
we have. Yes, they can. You can go on the phone. You find anything you want about the Bible or whatever.
It's easier.
But this is what we have.
I feel like it's a different understanding, though. Like when you have the book in your hand and you're searching for what you're searching for, it's completely different from you having a phone or having a tablet and then you could just go right to where it is. You having the book in your hand, it actually forces you to know where you're going to look, right? It forces you to know. That's why, like, with our children at the church now, we make sure that they know all 66 books of the Bible.
Yeah.
Because it's important that you know what's in the Old Testament, what's in the New Testament. So using an iPad or like a tablet or a phone for them to try to figure out where the books of the Bible are, and There's nothing wrong with it because it is easier. It's lighter, right? Carrying a big Bible. The way we used to do it, where we carried a Bible and a Sunday school and the
Everything
so you're
at
carrying
once.
all of this and your notebook that you have to write in. With the iPad, you got your notes, you got your Sunday, you got everything all in one. But at the same time, the children are not just using it for that, right? So it does require discipline, and as a child we kind of lack that sometimes, as a child, because there's so many disturbances, peer pressure, like, did you see what happened, this and that, and then you try to go look for it while listening to a sermon or
One
something like
text
that,
can change everything.
and receiving a text while that's happening, and sometimes it just reminds me of the two sisters when Jesus was sitting with Mary and Martha, and Mary was sitting at Jesus' feet, and Martha was sitting there trying to clean up everything like that. So instead of just sitting there and focusing on what Jesus is saying, she got so many other distractions happening around her and things of that sort. But either way, I think definitely using using the book itself can definitely help with being able to pinpoint, being able to highlight, being able to mark exactly where you want to go, what you want to find in the Bible plays a big part of that. And I also want to talk about the fellowship that we had as younger individuals growing up in Christianity, how it was all about community, right? As things are now, what do you think?
But I still like back again on my day when was at the church, So it was really good at the fellowship, because I think all people I can say, my best friend or my friend, they was in church. So we had to play music together. We had to eat together. So we was like
Your circle. That was your
yes,
circle.
that was my circle. So we always together. I think the fellowship was great. So even the others, they was always be with you, have fun, So it was the fellowship.
Like the elders, like the older people, the adults.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I remember like well, some of my friends always say, "Hey, you want group dom or group dams like the other groups, because whatever they doing, I always there."
Right.
So I'm the one people you're gonna see. If group like the woman doing something, you're gonna see me there, because they got a learning part. I was learning so many stuff from them,
Right.
By them. So I become one of them. So whatever they do, so they always call me, hey, Brother Emmanuel, we're doing this. How can I help? The flyers. Yeah, if I'm gonna get the flyers for them, I'm gonna do this. So I'm the musician, so I'll become, So it was good. So because of that, so they give you what they have. So the fellowship was good. I never be hungry. So they always have
Old
food.
ladies always got food.
It was good. From even Orlando, when I moved here, Orlando, it was that the church we had. That's what make the church what it was. It was because the fellowship was so great. Yeah. So when you come, you don't know whose mother is, whose father is, because everybody is one. It was one big family, you see. So we go to just like 7.
That's pretty recent, right? Yeah. That's like 10, 12 years ago.
12 years.
Right? So, when that was going on.
Yeah. So it was good. Till today, I can see it's like they got some people in my church right now. The fellowship is still good. But yeah, it's still good. Everything is still good.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like back in your day when growing up, right? I don't think we had as many churches that we have now, right? So I think it's more of other people building, and that's faith growing, right? Mm-hmm. Them having access in those neighborhoods for other people to go to church, but at the same time, not only giving yourself access, but also connecting with other churches. Big ups to Haitian Churches connecting with other churches where they can share their ideas. We can fellowship together. We can continue to be the same community, right? And that's how you give God glory, by being together, by growing in faith.
But you just say something, but I didn't want to talk too much about it. But
what's that?
The different right now, like you're saying, now every church was connect. That's why we have ACC. So we try to make sure everything get back together because as a growing up, this is what we had. If you're doing a revival,
Yeah.
everybody gonna go. So you
Yeah.
invite my church. It's not 1, 2 going, but like everybody going.
Right. Right.
So the youth. I think my church it was every fourth Sunday. We go and visit another church every Sunday. The same way you see another youth come to our church. So it's like we said, mangoes.
You merge.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like whatever you're doing, I know what you're doing. We're doing a concept. You know, you want to come invite me. So who you know how to sing? I know how to sing. We know how to jokes.
Drums,
Yeah.
right.
So we was like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a community like Christian. I think
Yeah.
I can say we missed it or we lost it. And Orlando, I still had it, but when I moved to
So nobody really knows what, or like when you say
Atlanta?
Orlando, nobody
No.
really knows, but you mean like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago, it's still happening. I don't think it is ever left. I think it's just maybe lack the leadership.
think
That's
Atlanta, we don't have it for sure.
Where?
Yeah,
Here.
the reason why I say we don't on our community, I think we lost it or we don't have it no more. If you invite another church, UNC 2 or 5,
Yeah.
people
It's
come
not
with
the whole
pastor.
church. Yeah. Yeah.
We can see the pastor come with his wife and his kids.
Yeah.
One thing I don't want you to steal my members.
My
Or
members?
I don't want you to steal the connections is we're serving one God.
One God.
So it would be okay if I can come visit your house. It's like I go to my friend's house. Example, I go to Sadrak's house. I say I don't want Sadrak don't want me to come to steal stuff in his house. Or he come. I go to Akaba house. I can steal stuff, but it wasn't like stuff like that because we had one thing we have in common is like we have God. So if I invite somebody to my church, you like the church, or God wants you to be at the church God called you to be.
Right.
As a pastor, I don't have to be mad at it.
You're in good hands.
You're in good hands. You're still at the church. So that part I don't get it. But I think as a community, I think we need to do better. Find or sit down as the pastor. One of the worst things I hate. I can say I hate when I hear another pastor talk
Bad about
another pastor. I hate. It's like when I say it's like you sees what he's trying to do, or you know what you're. I understand like it's not every pastor who's maybe calling by God. I understand that part, but take your time or your day to just focus only on the pastor, whatever that pastor do or pastor do. That's what you're gonna talk about on your Sunday. You focus. You take your focus on what God calling you
from
to.
God,
Yes.
right.
So focus on God. So whatever another pastor do, if you can find his phone or whatever, communicate with them, or they don't want, pray for them. Stop talking about the pastor. I hate that. I have to say.
That's understandable. But I wanted to go back to what you were saying. You were saying like back in the day, when all the churches used to come together and things like that, but we don't do that now. I'm thinking about maybe different aspects that's going on, especially back in Haiti. The way that people used to work may not be the same as how people work now, because now you have mother and dad working inside of the home, right? Back in the day, back in Haiti, right, where you grew up, maybe you didn't see those kinds of things. Like the mom probably worked inside of the home, dad worked outside of the home, and things like that. And people found time. Or, if something is happening, maybe it happened on a Sunday, not a Saturday, not a Friday where people are working. Here in the United States, people are working 2-3 jobs, right, just to pay the bills. So sometimes it may be kind of hard, especially in our community. We have a lot of nurses. So they're working 12-hour shifts, sometimes 16-hour shifts, right? Sometimes they're doing double shifts, right? And sometimes it may be hard for that to work out. where people are able to leave their jobs and make it to someone else's conferences and things like that. So that could be one reason why you can't have everybody at the church come. And I mean, I'm not saying it should be 2-3 people, but
No, it's like, I don't think so. Is that?
You don't think it's that?
No, I don't think so. It is. If a Sunday morning you're doing something at your church, you're there. Or Sunday afternoon you're doing something at your church, you're always there.
Right.
So why wouldn't they invite you so you're not there?
What if it's on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday?
Everybody is working in that church at the same time. I'm not thinking excuses. I just want to make sure it's like, y'all knows, like, y'all serve one God. Whatever we do, we're supposed to support each other.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not, so I'm not going to that pastor at church because you're going to steal my people, or, it's not like that. So if you think like that, I'm sorry to say what I'm about to say. That means something wrong with you. I'm sorry to say it. If you're scared for another people go to visit another church because you think they're going to steal it, something wrong with you. So as a leader, your leadership is
Well, I mean, I thank you for that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do think the same way that you're thinking. You said it. They were thinking it, but you said it.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
I'm saying. You got mad at me? Hey, it's okay.
That's all right.
And we have the table, we have chair, come sit, and we have a conversation about it. And I'm gonna give you my point, and you're gonna give me what you think about it. And we can find a connection to see how can we change that, because right now it's not good. That's me.
Well, let's go back to the youth. We were talking about the youth, where the difference between them growing up now and dealing with the distractions that they have now. When we talk about their challenges, what would be like the most challenging thing for the youth now, being the fact that they have all this technology? There are distractions, there's peer pressure, how much more? I mean, not to say that there wasn't peer pressure back then, but now with technology, you have peer pressure where it's not just the person that's in front of you, but now you have peer pressure of people who you don't even know, right? They're on social media and they're talking to you, and it keeps you from working for God, for doing things that you're supposed to be doing for God, right? What He calls you to do. And I just want to talk more about that. Did you guys have that kind of distraction? Obviously not, because you didn't have technology, but what was like the distraction for you guys back then, opposed to what the youth is dealing with now?
For me, I think, do I have a distraction? I think I had maybe, sometimes I want to go play the games or parties. Back in the day, we always have something called, I forget the nothing, KMS, night parties. That was what we had. Somebody doing the party's house, so it was that, and soccer, it was that. Sometimes you're inside the church, with a little radio, try to listen to the game, so to see who's going to win. I think that was female. That was one of them too. I think that was a must distraction. Or other religion, I think I can say that too. But it wasn't like that huge today.
Right.
Today, everything you do is just on your phone. You're looking at, you find everything. So back in the day, like when you have, like that, I always say, like, find somebody who have the same interest in with you. So that's why my circles was always people who know God or who believe in God. So this helped me to not go out there for where the distraction at. It's like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're gonna see me doing something for God or church. Right. That's what I was doing. Because even it's not me, somebody else, churches, it's like, that's why I said that. Today I don't get it, though the church always fight. My friends, my best friend, my best friend, we not the same church. We're not. I got Peterson. He was another church. I got most my people I was out with. Each of us have another church. Even the choir people who was my maestros, people who I was play drums with.
Right.
All of them are different church. But we always support each other. If I'm doing something on my church, they come. If they're doing something, I come. So this make us like a bigger circles. So we always together. So
Right.
that's take us, the distraction or over us.
So do you think that if you have friends that are outside of the church, that'll cause you to maybe backslide or make terrible decisions that will cause you to fall short or to,
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, that can happen depending if you're not a leader or you're just a follower. So you're gonna follow whatever they're doing. So you're gonna try to be like them. And no, I had friends who would not be a church, but they respect they had. So even they don't go. I got some friend. One of my best friend actually we've been friends like maybe more than 20 years. He's not a church guy because he was he was doing church, but after when he left the church, he don't want to go back because the way he see church is. Say that I don't want to go to church. I believe in God, but he going to church. But he always respect God. He always do the best he can. But we still best friend. Still today we still best friend. He never take. If I'm going to church today, you're gonna say, "Yo, I don't go to church, man." Or man, what church gonna do to you? But even he don't go, but he still respect me,
right.
So this is this thing. This is the thing. Like sometimes as a Christian, you have to do right because you serve a God. Somebody who your entourage, your circles, you have to be careful on what circles you have. If you have somebody you can call, something happen to you, you can pray for you, you can go for you. That's why you need.
Right.
In your circles as a Christian.
Definitely.
I don't say you don't need somebody who's not Christian or something like that. So I've still had friends who not Christians, but we still talk. We still, but we never see me go out with, go out with or stuff like that because I know that is not me. And they're not even going to invite me because they know who I am.
Right. So you definitely got to know who your circle is. You have to have your boundaries as well.
Yes.
It's important for you to know what lines to cross, what lines to not cross, especially when you do have friends who are outside of the church, right? So you do need to let them know and not be afraid to say, like, I follow Christ, right? These things are not for me. And it's okay that, it's not okay, but it's okay that it's your choice to do what you want to do. But for me and my house, we will follow God. And that's what we're doing, right? So I just wanted to talk about all of the stuff that's going on. I know it's not easy for our youth right now with all of the distractions, all of the mixed messages going back and forth.
I think they got it worse.
They definitely do because even if your children are not in private Christian schools, they're in public schools, and we do have Christians in public school as well, but also we have people who don't believe in God who are in public schools. So they're teaching our children certain things, but you have to make sure as a parent that you're instilling a godly foundation into their lives so they do understand what it means to have faith and not allow anything negative to come in your heart that's going to block what God has for you. One thing I would
pray for them. I pray for them.
Definitely.
Montics in Haiti, we used to have carnivals, But that week's like 3 days. That 3 days, my church they take us, to somewhere else, all the youth. So we went to the camp.
Yeah.
So that distractions is like how the church mess it up. Like you say, okay, you know what? That week, I know it's a big weekend, it's a big day, so everybody gonna go to carnivals, have fun. But us,
we're going
we're going somewhere else. They take all the youth. We go to, I think we go to Jack. We go. Man, it was so beautiful. We passed 4 days or 3 days together. So we learn about God. We sing, we eat. We have fun. We learn a bunch of stuff because they just take the decision. That's what the church.
That's what we do for Halloween here in the U.S. Right. So while everybody else is going trick or treating and things like that, we have to create activities for our children to go ahead and do, where they're not going out there trick-or-treating, right? We do other things inside the church to keep their minds away from all of
I
that,
had
right?
that.
You didn't have that.
No, no.
Well,
because-
you guys didn't have Halloween.
No, Halloween celebrate is not.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
Halloween.
it's a will thing in there. In Haiti,
not the same.
it's the will. It's the will thing. That's why Haitian don't celebrate. Haitian Christian don't celebrate Halloween because, like they say, it's a devil day. And my country is really the devil thing.
Yes, yes.
So we saw stuff, we hear stuff the same day. So that's
It's
why we
real.
don't celebrate it.
Yeah, it's real.
So not because we think we're better than you or stuff like that. No. We know it and we saw it. And
You have real costumes.
real costume. The fake thing you put on.
not fake
You know, no.
costume.
It's the real
Wow.
deal. You know, the zombies, everything out there. So we be careful in that. That's why we don't celebrate, not because we better or no, we try to be all question. No. We know what it is exactly. What it is.
Right. That's why you got to do your homework when
Definitely.
you're doing things like this, especially people who come from different countries and you come here to America. There are things that you see.
Yeah.
You don't just follow everything that you see because you don't understand it. Find out about it
What it
first
is,
before
exactly.
you're just doing it. Like a lot of people put like tattoos on their bodies and things like that they don't understand what they're putting on their bodies, or certain kind of piercings that you're doing that other cultures are doing and you think it's cool. So you just go ahead and do it. But everything has a meaning. Everything has a purpose. Right? So we want to make sure that we do our homeworks. So that's all that we had for you today. We just wanted to leave our youth with, be the light in that circle, whether there's darkness around you, whatever the situation may be. Follow David in First Kings, I apologize, First Samuel's verse 17, chapter 17, that talks about how David was being used by God to do miraculous things. As a young person, he's able to do all of that. Okay. You yourself can do the same. Allow God to use you. Be the salt.
Yeah.
Be the salt. Be the salt in this world. Okay. You can do it. Stay in your word. Learn the Bible. It is very, very important. There is a time in this world where we're not going to be able to see any Bibles. That's why we try to instill in our children, try to read your Bible every day. Every chance you get, try to do something. Okay, and just allow God to lead you. Allow God to lead you in the righteous path. I promise you, you will not go wrong. I promise you. Okay? Well,
But one thing I understand when you're young or you're at the church, be better, do better. You know, when you know
choose better.
Yes. And know who you're with, know who your circle is, and know what who you're serving. So why you're serving God for.
Praise God.
So because when you know that, one thing, one thing I will leave you guys: be a modest way wherever you're at. Be good and don't let nobody make you do something you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
Be a modest. So whatever you do it great. Do good, do better, and know better. They got a verse. I'm gonna leave you with it. It's 1 Timothy 4 verse 12. Exactly in English, but I'm gonna tell you in French. C'est que personne ne méprise ta jeunesse. Sois un modèle pour les fidèles en parole, en conduite, en charité et en foi. So next time maybe I will tell you how it is in English.
Is that the one in English that talks about you being a young person? Don't let an adult look
Yes.
down on you because you're young. Yeah, absolutely. I do love that, and just take that with you, even if you are young. Like it
Even
doesn't
you're not
matter.
young, so
All of
don't
them.
let,
Everyone.
yeah, huh?
Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's everyone. So I love that verse, so don't let anything, put you down.
Absolutely.
Because you serve
A good God. A good God. Well, continue to follow us on Instagram and
TikTok, YouTube,
absolutely.
and you want to see us more often. So every week we're gonna drop one like this.
Absolutely.
You follow on us, and remember we're in SCC, so we love and everything we do is for God, and we serve our humble God and good God. So we have to be good.
Praise God. Well, stay rooted in love and growing in faith, and we will see you next time.
Next time.
Bye, guys.
Is designed to bring people together by exploring the intersection of faith and cultural identity. for the gospel.